Alright guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, A Boy from Re, and today we're going to be reading chapter 3 of the Crow Prince. It's been a while since I've read actually a proper fantasy genre novel from like the young adult section, and I've been enjoying reading this book with everyone. I'm not sure why everyone likes the book. I mean, I don't really yet got into the interesting part, but it's been maybe I've just outgrown young adult, but it's been interesting for a while now. But I guess I've not really yet reached the part of the action that takes place and the adventure. So let's go ahead and start chapter 3. Fairies are twilight creatures, and I've become one too. We rise when the shadows grow long and head to our beds before the sun rises. It is well after midnight when we arrive at the great hill at the palace of Elfham. To go inside, we must ride between two trees, an oak and a thorn, and then straight into what appears to be the stone wall of an abandoned folly. And I've done it hundreds of times. But I flinch anyway. My whole body braces and I grip the reins hard. My eyes smash shut. When I open them, I'm inside the hill. We ride on through a cavern between the pillars of roots of a parked earth. There are dozens of folks here, crowding around the entrance of the vast throne room where the court is being held. Long-nosed pixies with tattered wings. All pixies have tattered wings. Elegant green skinned ladies in long gowns with goblins holding up their trains. Trixie Bogans, laughing foxskin. Trixie Bogans, that sounds mildly racist though. Trixie Bogans, laughing foxskin. A boy in an owl mask and a golden headdress. An elderly woman with crows crowding her shoulders. A gaggle of girls with wild roses in their hair. A buckskin boy with feathers around his neck. A group of knights, all in scarab green armor. Many I've seen before, and few I've spoken with. Too many for my eyes to drink them all in, yet I cannot look away. Never get tired of this, of the spectacle, or the pageantry. Maybe Oriana isn't entirely wrong to worry that I might one day get caught up in it, be carried away by it, and forget to take in. I can see why humans succumb to the beautiful nightmare of the court, why they're willing to drown in it. And I shouldn't love it as I do, sullen as I am for the mortal world my parents murdered, but I love it all the same. Maddox swings down from his horse. Oriana and Tyrion are already up theirs, handing them over to the grooms. It's me they're waiting for. Maddox reaches out his fingers like he is going to help me, but I hop off the saddles on my own. My leather slippers hit the ground like a slap. I hope that I look like a knight to him. Oriana steps forward, probably to remind Tyrion and me of all the things she doesn't want us to do. I don't give her the chance. Instead, I hook my arm around Tyrion and I hurry along inside. The room is redolent with burning rosemary and crushed herbs. Behind us, I can hear Maddox's heavy steps, but I know where I'm going. The first thing we have to do when we get to court is to greet the king. The High King Heldred sits on his throne in grey robes of state, a heavy golden oak leaf crown holding down his thin spun gold hair. When we bow, he touches our heads lightly with his knobby ringed hands, and then we rise. His grandmother was Queen Mab of the House of Grimbeer. She lived as one of the solitary fae before she began to conquer fae with her horn consort and his stag riders. Because of him, each of Eldred's 6 heirs are said to have some animal characteristics, a thing that is not unusual in fae but is unusual among the trooping gentry of the court. The eldest prince, Belking, and his brother Dane stand nearby drinking wine from wooden cups branded in silver. Okay, so they can drink from silver but not from iron. Dane wears breeches that stop at his knees. Breeches that stop. What? This man is like wearing half a trousers, showing his hooves on his dear leg. Wilkin wears the great coat he favors with the color of bear fur. It is weird that people with animal characteristics are actually wearing fur. You think they'll be vegans or vegetarians or something. His fingers have thorn at his knuckles and thorn ridges his arms. Running up under the cuff of his shirt, visible when he and Dane urge Maddox over. Orenna curtsies to them, although Dane and Belkins are standing together. They are often at odds with each other and with their sister Elwyn, so often that the court is considered to be divided into three warring circles of influence. Belkin, the firstborn, and his sets are known as the Circle of Grackles. This is some weird naming patterns. The Circle of Grackles, for those who enjoy merriment and who scorn anything getting in the way of it. They drink themselves sick and numb themselves with poisonous and delightful powders. Poisonous and delightful? That sounds like cocaine. What is this? Yes, rich people like to do cocaine though. That's what it is. His is the wildest circle. Although he's always been perfectly composed and sober when speaking with me. I suppose I could throw myself into debauchery and hope to impress them. I'd rather not though. Princess Elwyn, the second born, and the companions have the Circle of Larks. The Circle of Larks. They value art above all else. Several mortals have found favor in the circle, but since I have no real skills with loot or declaiming, I have no chance. Is declaiming rapping? What is that? I have no chance of being one of them. Prince Dane, Toddborn, leads what is known as the Circle of Falcons. Knights, warriors, and strategies are in their favor. Maddox obviously belongs to this circle. They talk about honor, but all they really care about is power. I'm good enough with a blade, knowledgeable in strategy. All I need is a chance to prove myself. Go enjoy yourself, Maddox tells us. They look back at the prince. Tyrion and I head out into the throng. The palace of the king of Elfhame has many secret alcoves and hidden corridors, perfect for trysts or assassins, or staying out of the way and being really dull at parties. When Tyrion and I were little, we would hide under the long banquet tables. Once she determined we were elegant ladies, too big to get our dresses dirty, crawling around on the floor, we had to find a better spot. Just past the second landing of stone steps in an area where a large mass of shimmering rock juts out, creating a ledge. Normally, that's where we settle ourselves to listen to the music and to watch all the fun we aren't supposed to be having. Tonight, however, Tyrion has a different idea. She passes the steps and grabs the food off a silver tray, a green apple and a wedge of blue vein cheese, not bothering with salt. She takes a bite of each, holding the apple out for me to bite. Orena thinks we can't tell the difference between regular fruit and fairy fruit, which blooms a deep gold. Its flesh is red and dense, and the cloying smell of it fills the forest at harvest times. The apple is crisp and cold in my mouth. We pass it back and forth, sharing down to the core, which I eat in two bites. Are you a horse? Why are you eating the core of an apple? Near where I'm standing, a tiny fairy girl with the clock of white hair, like that of a dandelion, and a little knife cuts the strap of an ogre's belt. It's slick work. A moment later, his sword and pouch are gone. She's losing herself in the crowd, and I can almost believe it didn't happen until the girl looks back at me. She winks. A moment after that, the ogre realizes he was robbed. I smell a thief, he shouts. Casting around him, knocking over the tankard of dark brown beer. His watty nose stiff in the air. But the way this girl describes it is like slightly on the racist end, bro. Nearby, there's a commotion. One of the candles flares up in blue crackling flames, sparkling loudly and distracting even the ogre. By the time it returns to normal, the white-haired thief is well gone. With a half smile, I turn back to Taryn, watches the dancers with longing, oblivious to much else. We could take turns, she proposes. If you can stop, I'll pull you out, and then you do the same for me. My heartbeat speeds at the thought. Look at the trunk of a village trying to build up the daring of someone who would drop an ogre right under his nose. Princess Olwyn wails at the center of the circle of blacks, her skin is glittering gold, her hair deep green of ivy. Beside her, a human boy plays the fiddle. Two more mortals accompany him less skillfully but more joyfully on ukuleles. Elwyn's younger sister, Kalia, spins nearby with corn silk hair like a father's and a crown of flowers in it. Corn silk hair. Corn. A new battle begins, and the war drifts up to me. Of all the sons King William had, Prince Jamie was the worst, they sing. And what made the sorrow even greater, Prince Jamie was the first. Of all the sons King William had, King Jamie was the worst. And what made the sorrow even greater, Prince Jamie was the first. Almost a rap. I never much liked that song because it reminds me of someone else. Someone who, along with Princess Rhea, doesn't appear to be attending tonight, but oh no, I do see him. means Caden 6 points to the High King Eldred, yet still the absolute worst, strides across the floor towards us. Valerian, Nicasia, and Locke, his three meanest, fanciest, and most loyal friends, follow him. The crowd parts and hushes, bowing as they pass. Caden is wearing his usual scowl, accessorized with coal under his eyes and a circlet of gold in his midnight hair. He has on a long black coat and a high jacket collar, the whole thing staged with a pattern of constellations. Valerian is in a deep red Capricorn ruby. It's in deep red, Capricorn ruby sparkling on his cuffs, each like a drop of frozen blood. Gage's hair is in the blue-green of the ocean, crowned with a diadem of pearls. Glittering cobweb nets covers the braids. Locke brings up the rear, looking bored, his hair the precise color of fox fur. They are ridiculous, I say to Taryn, who follows my gaze. I cannot deny they are also beautiful. Fairy lords and ladies, just like in the songs. If we didn't have to take lessons alongside them, I didn't know firsthand what a scourge they were to those who displeased them, I'd probably be as in love with them as everyone else is. Vivi says that Kadam has a tail, Taryn whispers. She saw it when she was swimming in the lake with them, with him and Princess Rare, this past full moon night. I can't imagine Kadam swimming in the lake, jumping in the water, splashing people, laughing at something other than their suffering. A tale, I echo. An incredulous smile started on my face, and I'm fading when I remember that Vivi didn't bother to tell me the story, even though it must have happened days ago. Three is an odd configuration of sisters. There's always one on the outside. The tuft on the end is caught up under his clothes and unfolds like a whip, she giggles. I can barely understand her next words. Vivi said she wishes she had one. I'm glad she doesn't, I say firmly, which is stupid. I have nothing against tails. Not the way you're talking. Then Caden and his companions are too close for us to save it. Talk about them. I turn my gaze to the floor. Do I hate it? I sink to the ground on one knee, bend my head, and grit my teeth. By my side, Taryn does something similar. All around us, people are making up scenes. Obeisance. Don't look at us, I think. Don't look. As Valerian passes, he grabs one of my braided horns. The others move on through the trunk as Valerian sneers down at me. You'd think I didn't see you there. You and your sister stand out in any crowd. He says, leaning in close. His breath is heavy with the scent of honey wine. So this dude is drunk. My hands ball into a face at my side, and I am conscious of the nearness of my knife. Still, I do not look him in the eye. No other head of hair is so dull, no other face so plain. Valerian, the Prince Caden calls. He's glowing already when he sees me. His eyes narrow for it. Valerian gives my bread a hard tug. I wince, useless free calling in my belly. He laughs and moves on. My fairy cuddles into shame. I wish I had smacked his hands away, even though it would have made everything worse. Taryn sees something in my face. What did he say to you? How did you hear? She's standing right next to you. I shake my head. Caden has stopped beside a boy with long copper hair and a pair of small moth wings. A boy who is in bowing. The boy laughs and Caden lunges. Within one eye blink and the next, the prince's bald face struck the boy hard across the jaw, setting him sprawling. As the boy falls, Caden grabs one of his wings. It tears like paper. The boy's scream is thin and ready. He curls up onto himself on the ground, agony plain on his face. I wonder if fairy wings grow back. How long have you been here? 10 years and you don't know if fairy wings grow back? I know that butterflies that lose a wing never fly again. The courtiers around us gape and thither, but only for a moment. Then they go back to the dancing and the song that they reveal Sparazon. This is how they are. Someone gets in Caden's way and they are instantly and brutally punished. Grieving from taking lessons at the palace, sometimes out of the court entirely. Hurt and broken. As Caden walks past the boy, apparently done with him, I'm grateful that Caden has 5 more worthy brothers and sisters. It's practically guaranteed that he will never sit on the throne. I don't want to think of him more powerful than he has. Even the Casa and Valerian share a wicked glance. Then Valerian shrugs and follows Caden, but Locke passes by the boy, bending down to help him to his feet. The boy's friends come over to lead him away, and at that moment, improbably, Locke's gaze lifts. His sunny fox eyes meet mine and are wide in surprise. I'm immobilized. My heart speeding. I brace myself for more scorn. but then one corner of his mouth lifts. He winks, as if in acknowledgement of being caught, as if we're sharing a secret, as if he thinks I am not loathly, as though he does not find my mortality contagious. Didn't you see? I start to explain. Stop shooting at him, Tara demands. Didn't you see? I start to explain, but she cuts me off, grabbing a hold of me and hauling us towards the stairs, towards a landing of shimmering stone where we can hide. Her nails sink into my skin. Don't give them any more reason to bother you than they've already got. The intensity of her response surprises me into snatching back my hands. Angry red half moaning smirk where she grabbed me. I looked back towards where Locke was, but the crowd has swallowed him up. Alright guys, this is the end of chapter 3. Thank you for listening, watching. If you guys could, please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps with the algorithms. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with chapter 4. Alright, thank you. Peace.